All right. Well, that looks a little fucked.
I don't
Alright.
know what happened.
It's fine, we got it.
It's fine, she said. I'm on the pills, she said.
Child
What's going
support, she
on,
said.
guys? Welcome to episode 128 of the Beastly Thought Show. Here with the Beastly Gamer and the Robbie Skull.
Yes!
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing today?
Good. What's going on, man? I couldn't wait to get ready and get my Sunday start with the Beastly Thought Show.
Right?
It's been a very interesting week. Lots of
Right?
stuff is going on.
Yeah!
Right?
I can't freaking wait
I
to
don't know
get
what
this
the
shit
excitement's
started.
with. We're just
I
excited.
don't know. It's contagious. Holy shit.
I'm always glad to see you guys. I love seeing you guys on Sundays. I look forward to it all week. I had a rough week. Like top 100 or top 10 rough weeks of my entire life this week.
Oh wow.
But by the end of it, man, it got way better. I had a great Thursday, had a great Friday, had a shitty Saturday, but a great Sunday.
The other days were great. Don't worry
And
about
now we're going to finish it off with some video game talk. I want to talk about some VR. I want to have some beers with my friends and
Yes.
do a little podcast and shit, right?
it. Woo!
Yeah.
Sounds like some good shit to me.
All
Ready
right.
to fucking start the show. My goodness.
I want to talk about what you guys have been playing. I got a lot to talk about in this department because I am going to talk about PSVR when we talk about in this segment. So why don't we start off with you guys? Beasley, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing, well, this weekend at least, I've been playing Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. The beta's out. I've been playing it, and I'll just leave that up to you, Robbie, to tell me what you think about it, because as of right now, I'm totally not impressed. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed at the way that the game feels. I feel almost like there's something going on. They've introduced a new dynamic as far as the way that you kill the opponents. I've laid into other opposing people and shot 5, 6 shots, get hit markers, and then they turn around and shoot me, and I'm dead in one shot. Pissed me off. It's happened numerous times. I understand, since I've downloaded the beta, I think I've already downloaded about 4 gigs worth of updates to the beta. So I don't know if they're changing things and trying to work it out.
but a lot of
This is really concerning, Beasley, because when I think Infinity Ward, I think this is the game that's going to have the best netcode to it. It's like, this is the game where I'm not going to feel those things that you're saying.
You might totally feel differently. And there's been numerous times we've been on the opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to Call of Duty games. So you might actually really enjoy it. But from what I've played, today I was playing Black Ops 3 because I wanted to feel like it meant something.
Wow.
My
Like
skill meant something.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I went back and played about 5 or 6 games of Black Ops 3, which is a game I don't play that often. But playing that versus playing Infinite Warfare, at least as beta, I felt like I was more rewarded for my skill set, and the things I've learned in the other Call of Duties actually mattered. They may totally change this. I don't know if this is something that's ubiquitous across everyone who's playing this Infinite Warfare. But for me, that was something that I felt, something my wife felt. She didn't want to play anymore. And I looked at her and I was like, holy shit, this might be the first Call of Duty I just don't buy on day one unless I feel like they change it. Now, to contrast that, when they showed or put the beta out for
COD
Black
4,
Ops 3. Say what?
COD 4, though.
Yeah, that's the saving grace, right?
Yeah.
That's the saving grace. And you guys know that's one I never even played. So that's exciting. But I still was excited to see what was coming new.
Yeah.
What they were going to bring new to the table. Another thing about Infinite Warfare is I felt like they didn't bring much new to the table. The way the characters move, the way that you slide, the double jump, all feels extremely reminiscent. The wall running, it's almost like for Black Ops 3, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing at all, but you'd expect, a completely different developer doing their own 3-year development cycle that they would be able to bring something new to the table. Of course, I've seen new kill streaks and things of that nature. The different types of specials that these characters have, to me, don't even compete with the stuff that we saw in Black Ops 3. Different guns that shoot bullets and they basically track the targets and spread out and bounce across walls and things like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty unique. But for me, if I was to see this game versus the way I felt about Black Ops 3 when I first saw them at the same time, there really wouldn't be any comparison. Now, that's not to say the game won't be great. It it probably will. And that's what betas are all about. That's what they used to be for them to put them out there so that people could play them, judge them, talk about what needs to possibly be tweaked. So if this is something that more and more gamers are seeing versus just myself, it's possibly something that could be fixed. But I've been playing that. I've also been playing Resident Evil 4. I beat that. Resident Evil 5, I finished it. And I think this week I was doing a little bit of what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks, more Overwatch and, of course, The Last of Us. So for me, it's been one of those weeks. Yeah, just like Briar's going to say Destiny. Yeah, it happens.
Well, not necessarily this week. Well, somewhat, but yeah.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah,
It's
not
fine.
this week. This week might be a little bit different. For the guys who are wondering out there what's going on with PSVR, I'm super excited about it. I haven't gotten mine yet. I was going to go to the store on the 14th and pick it up. I called my local GameStop. They said, sure, we got the $400 bundle and the $500 bundle.
Oh, they had the 500?
Yeah. I said, motherfucker, I'm on the way. I called my wife. My wife was like, hey, don't do that right now. We got this and this and this that needs to be done first. So,
no.
No, wife. We do fun stuff first, and then adult
like I
stuff.
said to you guys, that was the moment I realized that marriage was a mistake. I'm just kidding. I love my
Glad
wife.
I'm not there yet.
But
I remember Inner Black Ninja.
Mm-hmm.
I remember having a conversation with them, and I had just gotten married, and I'm wearing my wedding ring, and I'm playing with a PlayStation controller, and the fucking thing's rattling like crazy on my wedding ring. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, it's like making all sorts of noise. It's like rattling on my wedding ring. He's like, oh yeah, you got to take that wedding ring off, or you got to turn the rumble off on your controller. I'm like, shit, man, I was not prepared for that level of commitment. I got to turn the rumble off? No, sir.
this marriage deal is just all fucked up.
So I just stopped wearing my ring.
It's such a weird
Looks
thing.
like you made your choice there. Priorities, right, Brian?
Am I wrong?
No. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I'm taking mine
That's
off
hilarious,
right now.
man.
So that was my week. Now, Robbie, we got to get to you because Briar, your week is probably a little bit more exciting.
Well,
than
I want to
mine.
hear what Robbie's got to say about
That's what I'm
Infinite
saying.
Warfare, too. Yeah.
Okay, good. Give me your input, Robbie.
All right. So my first impressions of Infinite Warfare, I played it for last couple days. I'm at level 26, I think, almost to level cap. I like it a lot, but I also have problems with it. So first of all, you're definitely right, BC. I agree with you. The movement is pretty much identical to Black Ops 3. I mean, you have, the thrust jump. It feels a little bit different to me. Maybe people sit a little slower. I definitely don't agree with where people say the gameplay is slower, though, because this, holy shit, is the
It's too
time to kill
fast.
ever fast
Wow.
in this game. It is
very-
ridiculous. Like,
It's insane.
so many times you'll get in a gunfight, you'll engage someone, you'll be low on health, you have no chance to get away because it takes like just an instant for you to get melted and shut down. The time to kill, and I would say the netcode actually is really good in this game. I know, BC, you've had a different experience. For me, it feels like an Infinity Ward netcode. Like, there are definitely times where, there's a little bit of lag, or occasionally I'm like, I probably should have gotten that kill, but I think it's the netcode. The netcode feels spot on to me. I have problems with it here and there, but I mean, overall, I think the game's a lot of fun.
I've always liked the way Infinity Ward games play. I know a lot of people hated Ghost. They didn't like the map design. They didn't like the slow feeling in the game. But for me, like the hit detection and like the way that game played on, on PSN or on Xbox Live, it felt nearly flawless. Like way better than most games that are, host-based matchmaking. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
So
actually, Briar, you
really
make me
concerning.
like Ghost. But then again, for all transparency, Robbie, you're like level 26. You said,
Yeah.
I'm literally level 5. I haven't put in a ton of time,
Yeah.
so it could be just one of those skewed moments that stuck with me where I shot this fucking guy. I know I hit him 4 or 5 times. He turns around and I'm dead. Plus, another thing that pissed me off is, you watch the kill cam. You're wondering who the fuck killed you. Some guy killed me during a match at least 5 or 6 times with that quick scoping shit. From nowhere with a sniper, too.
The snipers are amazingly powerful in this game.
Oh, my God.
They're very
like,
powerful.
This is going to frustrate the hell out of me because I'm not as good as my sons when it comes to... My son, he played me quick scoping, and I looked at him, I was like, you're not my son. This is not how
you're
you
no
play
son
fucking
of mine.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't
Pull out
I
a
don't play
red
Call of
gun
Duty
like a
this way.
man.
Yeah. And he was like,
But yeah.
let me show you. I'll teach you how to do it. I said, I want to learn that shit. Go back to your mother's house. And so that's basically it. I saw a lot of quick scoping, man, and it's hardcore.
Snipers are definitely powerful in this game, and if I had to describe Infinite Warfare 2, I'd say it feels similar, not identical to Ghost. Like, it's a little bit different the way the game feels and the gunplay of it, and then it has Black Ops 3 movement system. So it's like a similar experience, but it also has that movement involved. So you can imagine, like, a fast time to kill like Call of Duty Ghost plus a movement system like that. Like, it is probably the fastest Call of Duty ever.
So
like,
that sounds like it's going to be basically... It's going to live or die based on the weapon and the map design. How are the weapons and the maps?
Oh, the maps have been frustrating as fuck.
You're okay.
I'm sorry. Well, I have two completely different perspectives because my wife has one and I have, my own. But for me, no matter where you were, and Briar, we talked about this before in a particular Call of Duty, no matter what's going on, there's always someone else who's got the jump on you. You can try to get into a good spot where you might have a jump on someone else. You go for that kill, and all of a sudden you're being shot from two different directions. It's almost like no matter where these maps are small too.
It happens all the time in this game. It does.
No matter where you're going, no matter you could just spawn in. As soon as you go around the corner, there's a guy shooting you in your ass. Someone's shooting you in the top of your head. There's a guy flanking you from 7 o'clock somewhere. So I just felt very insecure. My wife said it's because these levels and the map designs that we played during the beta are so small and so confined. There's just so many people, and it's so fast.
It is so fast.
You can get around so quick. You can do that thrust jump, just run on walls, coming around the corner. So no matter what, you're never really prepared. There's always somebody fucking you up, which actually might be a good thing. But when you're not winning, it's a fucking horrible thing.
Yeah, you're gonna have insanely fast reaction times. That's what I'll say. Because like I said, the time to kill, the net code is for the most part is very spot on. So you got to be like really quick. You got to have very good movement and be able to get out of a situation when you need to, especially on this one map called Frontier. It's a space station in space, and it's got all of these small corridors that kind of link up together, and there's this underground section that links up. You can jump through the window and stuff. That map especially, you can get shot in the back so easily. You always have to be moving and very aware of your surroundings because you'll just get melted if you're not like super fast reactions. So yeah.
He's weighing his thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it myself yet. I didn't have a chance to
the game's really fun.
Beta.
The core game I really like. I'll say that. I have issues, like the explosives are very powerful too. That's another thing. Did you notice that, BC? The grenades are ridiculous.
Oh God, yes.
They're so powerful.
I'm sorry, I screamed. But I after playing 5 or 6 games, I really started to notice this Call of Duty has the most powerful fucking explosives I've probably ever seen in a Call of Duty game. You throw a grenade, it takes a little bit longer for them to explode, all right? The grenade will sit there for about 4 seconds before it explodes, but it'll explode.
Like 5 times.
It'll blow up the spot it's at, the spot in front of it, the spot behind that, whoever might be around the corner. A car will catch on fire. I was like, what is happening?
Oh, my God.
And then there's a plasma grenade.
Had exploding cars like all over the place. They used to drive me crazy. I'd be on like on a 6 or 7 kill streak, and then like a car that was like burning that I didn't really notice would explode next to me and end my kill streak. Oh my God, I used to hate that shit.
And when you kill, like when you destroy a car or some type of equipment, you get a pop up on the screen. Congratulations, you've fucked up someone's insurance premium just went up.
Fucked up somebody's good day.
Yeah, it's one of those situations. Now the game. Of course, I'm going to end up getting this game. It's for me. Call of Duty is almost like an annual tradition now. For me,
I don't know, man. It's falling off though. Like
it just so far what I've played, Briar, it hasn't offered anything new. I feel like, and Robbie, you could probably back me up here. I know you think the netcode, everything is great, and which it might be. You played a lot more than me, so I give more credence to your opinion than mine. But what is really new that you really can't get in Black Ops 3? I mean,
I agree with you there. Yeah, it's all really the same movement, the same specialist abilities.
And so
the gameplay feels different. Like the gunplay feels different, but it's all the same kind of ideas and specialist abilities.
If the game encompasses, if the full game's multiplayer encompasses what we're playing right now in the beta, this could truly have been an expensive DLC for Black Ops 3. The characters look similar. They got robots the same way they have in Black Ops 3. The weapons, of course, would have been a DLC perk. But you're running on walls. You got the thrust jump. Everything seems to be similar. The graphics are just on par with Black Ops 3. Nothing really better. Nothing really stands out. I mean, honestly, if you didn't know this was an Infinite Warfare and you're playing it and someone just walked by, they'd probably think you're playing Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
So That's the
Yeah,
way
it's very similar, but I still feel like the gunplay is different. It feels different. Like it almost feels snappier to me. Like we've been saying, like it's so fast, and even like it just feels snappier to lock on and aim to someone. Like the shooting just feels more precise. Like that's why it's just crazy. This game is really fast.
This is something that my son actually hit me to, and I've recently did this in Black Ops 3, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. For the first time, I changed my sensitivity. I was playing on default sensitivity. My son has his all the way up, which
Oh
is
my God.
yeah, he's 15 years old. I'm like, I don't remember 15-year-old eyes being able to play this shit, but he goes out. The screen doesn't even look like it turns. It just teleports to a different spot. He's killing. I was like,
That's
what's
a motion
happening?
blur though too.
Yeah, but my son's really, really good at that. And so he told me to like up mine to maybe 8. And I did it in Black Ops 3. And I noticed I was fucking people up. I felt like I was Superman because I get behind them. And by the time they finally turn around, I've already turned around, dropped to the ground, and shot them in their ankle. They're dead.
Oh,
and so I did the same.
Drop shotting still works?
Yeah, well, sometimes.
You kind of can do it, yeah.
Man, I used to get hate mail. Oh, the hate mail. It was beautiful. Drop shotting,
Briar.
asshole.
Briar, and I don't know if you knew that, but you were the one who actually talked me into trying tactical.
Oh,
loadout.
yeah.
Because that's the only way you do it. You drop every time you, and trust me, I've gotten my fair share of that hate mail. You fucking
win
drop
so
shot,
many
bitch.
stupid gunfights because of drop shotting.
Well, it confuses people because you go down, they think you're going down because you're dead, and then all of a sudden another bullet
You're
comes.
still shooting them. I turned on so many people because of that. You know, once you change your controller layout so that the right thumbstick drops you to the ground, like, oh my God, it opens up a whole new world.
Yeah,
can't play it any other way. And I don't know how people play Call of Duty without at least tactical, unless you had maybe a scuffer, some type of elite controller.
Yeah.
But I tried it with Infinite Warfare, and that did make a huge difference because the game is so fast that, you know, I was coming around the corner at first, you know, and the guy, as soon as I saw someone, I was dead. But when you increase your movement speed, and when I increased mine to at least level 8, I was actually on par and doing pretty damn good. So my issues might be that I was just sucking early on in the game.
And don't feel bad too if you get destroyed when you start playing, because I did too. Like it takes a bit to get used to, because like I said, it is so fast.
Well,
like,
the very first game my wife and I played together, we were in a team, and the opposite team had 3 level 23 characters and 1 level 25, and Kate and I are like levels 1. It was like a level 6, so we were like, oh, this is going to be a nice exercise in futility, and we proceeded to get destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like undecided on this game. I'm gonna have to play it. You know, I'll buy in the game because I want to play COD 4, and I'll be completely honest with you. If I could buy COD 4 on its own, I probably would. I'm looking forward to playing the single player because the campaign looks cool as hell.
Campaign looks.
But from everything I've seen from the multiplayer, it's more of the same. It's more of Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3. It's the type of COD that kind of lost my interest, and I don't see it pulling me back in.
I would still say definitely give it a shot. You know, like play it for yourself, because I think the gunplay does feel just different enough. But yeah, you definitely have to play it because it does feel somewhat different as far as Black Ops 3, but the movement system is identical.
Let me just say this before we move on, Briar. If Black Ops 3 didn't pull you in, this game probably won't either.
No, it really didn't.
Because it's more of the same. Black Ops 3 it's the same kind of control, just different weapons and different perks. And the Black Ops 3, which to me, from the onset, of course, playing them both as betas, if I had tit for tat, I would have chose Black Ops 3 over Infinite Warfare. My personal opinion. Not saying that Infinite Warfare won't come out and be a better game overall, just from my early impressions. Black Ops 3 had me super, super, super excited because it did scale back some of that
Advanced
Warfare insanity movement, right?
Yeah.
And grounded the game more, and it felt better. And of course, all the, you know, for me at least, Black Ops 3 kind of brought back that feel of Black Ops 2. This is kind of pulling a little bit too much for me from Black Ops 3, and it's not enough to really change it in a way that makes me really enthusiastic about buying it. Like I told Kate today, I said this might be the first one I might not buy on day one if this is all we have to look forward to. But that campaign does look awesome.
Campaign looks cool, and I'm definitely looking forward. COD lost between Call of Duty, somewhere in between Black Ops 2 and Advanced Warfare. They lost something that was very special to me, and it was like this. It was a combination of arcade controls, but also thoughtful play that I always loved about Call of Duty that really got lost in Advanced Warfare. And I tried Black Ops 2, but I'll be honest with you, I bet I put less than 20 hours into Black Ops 2 before I just called it quits. So it's kind of like, I don't know that they'll ever get me back at this point. I'm definitely excited about playing Black COD 4, but I'm not even really looking forward to this game, Infinite Warfare, at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I hear you.
it's getting to the point now where the ship has sailed. The people who grew up playing this game enjoyed it for what it was, and now it's an amalgamation of so many other things. It just kind of lost its identity. And until they reinvent it as something new, revolutionary, and exciting that doesn't pull, inspiration from 1,000 other shooters, it'll be like out there in limbo. In my opinion, I like something new, something that's inventive, something that doesn't try to, be a one-trick pony that does everybody's tricks. I love the original CODs too. To me, Black Ops Modern Warfare 2 was truly amazing. Black Ops 2 is my favorite one, and I don't know if they lost you because they were trying so hard to change it. I think they forgot what made them so good to begin with. So we'll see what happens. So, Brian, the exciting stuff that we really want to get to now is coming. Everybody pull out your popcorn. This is going to be super exciting.
Here we go.
I got it. I got the PSVR, and I got to say, I'm really impressed by this thing. I want to start, when I talk about this thing, I really want to start by saying I'm definitely still in the honeymoon period, right? I've only had it for, 4 or 5 days. And the last 2 days I've been working photography, so I just have not had a chance to play it a lot. So I want, if I come out really hype about this now, and then I talk about it, in a month and say, well, there's this and this thing wrong with it. Understand, right now, I'm definitely in the honeymoon period.
Got you.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm completely fucking amazed by this. Hardware-wise, I really enjoy the hardware. It's very light. It's very comfortable. It looks fantastic when you're inside the headset. The screens look fantastic. Basically, what you're looking at when you're in the headset are 2 lenses in there, and it's basically one 1080p screen that's split into 2. One eye sees half of it, the other eye sees half. So it's not ultra high res, but it gets the job done. In most games, it looks sharp, it looks good, it looks very 3-dimensional, and it does a great job of tracking your head around. So I've had very few motion sick issues. Hardware wise, it feels great. It's using these old motion controllers, which we remember from 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
PlayStation Move, yeah.
When they were first announced. I never actually had one of these before. I had to buy the launch bundle that came with them, and they work fine. They work pretty good. I've noticed that occasionally they'll flip out a little bit if I get a little too outside of the PlayStation Eye's range. But I am playing very close to the camera. I think that if I was playing in my living room where I was further away from the camera, that wouldn't be as big an issue. But they work fine. It's the natural shape of the controller works good because you can kind of feel like you're picking stuff up with the trigger or, hitting stuff with your thumb. There's all the buttons on them. And for guns, it feels like you're shooting guns. It's cool. They're fine. You got one in each hand. It feels like you can interact with things. Certain games where you got 2 guns, it's really fun to be able to aim with 2 guns, like a rootin' tootin' cowboy.
Shooting.
As far as the quality of the hardware goes, it's frankly everything I hoped for. It's not the highest res display that we could have asked for, but it's fine. The hardware is great. The cable kind of drapes around you. You got a little volume controller kind of right where you would expect a volume controller to be, where your headset plugs in. It even comes with a headset, which sounds pretty good. I got the $500 edition that came with the PlayStation Eye camera and the PlayStation Move controllers, as well as a couple of discs. One is the VR demo disc, which basically has
VR Worlds.
Well, this is the demo disc. This has a bunch of games on it that you can try out, which I really appreciate because some games will make you sick almost immediately.
Oh God.
Not a club.
Okay, and I think it's really dependent on the person who's playing and the way that game is designed, because I've had a strong reaction to games that other people say are fine. And games that I think are fine, other people have had a strong reaction to. So I think it really depends on the person and how the game was designed.
Yeah.
I honestly think that every VR game should have at least a short demo. So I really appreciate getting this in the box. This comes in the box with the $400 or the $500 edition. And it's great because, honestly, like, Rigs is a really cool game. It gets a lot of people motion sick because it's very much, you basically pilot this this mech in like a 3D arena, and you play like kind of sports games. But it's very much, it feels like first person movement, and for me it's fine. Not a problem.
Yeah.
I've heard other people can't even like play it for more than like 15 seconds. You know?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, so
I think
it's
a good
really,
example of that too is like a roller coaster type thing. Like some people are really bad with roller coasters. Like someone like me though, like I've ridden a lot of roller coasters, so I would be fine with it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good example, Robbie. Another one is another thing that comes in the box is PlayStation VR Worlds. Now this comes in the $500 edition. If you buy the $400 edition, this does not come in it. You have to buy this separately. I would say it's kind of worth it though, even if you buy it separately. One of the best experiences I've had in VR so far is like a very short demo that comes on this called the London Heist. Where it's the most immersive thing I've done in VR so far. It starts off with you being interrogated by this kind of big burly man, right? And he comes walking up to you and he's standing right in front of you, and it's really hard to translate. Seeing this on a screen, it looks like any other video game. But being in the VR headset, it feels like there's a dude, a really intimidating dude, standing in front of you, interrogating you. Does that make sense? Man. You know, like it really is convincing in that way. And then that game moves on to having a couple of shootouts. One of the shootouts, you are the passenger in a car, and you've got a gun, and you're shooting at motorcycles and cars and stuff. And then there's another part where he comes at you with a flamethrower, or like with a, like a small like burner
torch.
Yeah, a small torch, and it's really intimidating because you feel a sense of danger. Your brain is giving you a sense of danger.
Immersion. Wow.
Because you're so immersed into it. So even though it's a very short demo, I think the whole thing lasts probably about a half hour. It's very cool. But it's also got one called Scavenger's Odyssey, which is one of those games for me, immediately. Like, gotta turn it off, gotta take the headset off immediately. Because I instantly got sick. Right?
Wow, I can't wait to see this.
So it's basically like you're in this you're basically in a mech. You're piloting a mech, and it moves forward like a first-person shooter. And for some reason, this got me sick immediately. Rigs doesn't have any effect on me. I don't know why. Odd. Right? Somebody will have to do the research on this.
Is that the one where you jump from the asteroids? That might be why, because if it's in outer space.
No, it was on a planet.
Okay, maybe it could be something to do with space.
Yeah, and then also VR Luge is great. You pilot a luge, like a road luge going down a hill. No problem, and it until you crash, and like it snaps the camera crazy, and that's like, whoa, no, like you can't do that with the camera. Like it's a really nasty effect.
Oh my goodness!
So. A lot of the
early
games,
impressions,
right? A lot of the games I really love. Eve Valkyrie is another one that I really love. This is like it's like you pilot a fighter out in space. It's got multiplayer and it's got a campaign. The multiplayer I'm finding is absolutely a blast. The arenas that you play in are, even though you're in space, they're filled with asteroids and space stations and other ships, so there's lots of stuff to fly around in, fly in between. It's so cool just being able to like look around. Your ship has a lot of windows in it, so you can even though you're like the front of your ship is here, you can track an opponent who's over there and then like kind of get your ship. It's the dream as far as I'm concerned. That game is super fun. I will say there are some issues with games like this. Is Drive Club VR. This is something I was really looking forward to because I used to be a big Gran Turismo player, And one of the problems with driving games is that you can only see where your car is going. You can't see where, like when you drive, you don't do that. You don't just look straight ahead. When you want to take a turn, you look at where you want to go, and then you bring the car there. You know,
it's like driving in real life. Who knew? Yeah.
Right. So with VR, you can do that. However, with Drive Club VR, the graphics are shitty, like really bad.
Really, I haven't seen it yet.
They're super low res. Like if you look at screenshots or anything like that, they look fine. But when you get the helmet on, it looks like, I don't know, it looks like the whole thing's running through like kind of like a filter where nothing's very sharp. You can't really see, like you can see that there's a turn ahead of you, but you can't really tell if it's a left or a right.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Wow. It's so I like playing the game because when I do know the track, it's like I can look at where I want to go, and like it's giving me that, you know, that feeling.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
Drive Club, this is the game that I've heard from multiple YouTubers who got this day one or day two, that was the game that really got them jarred as far as that sensation of feeling sick and
no problem for me personally.
So it's totally subjective.
Yeah, it really does seem to be. Of course, I crashed. Yeah.
Was it scary?
You do that on stream. Yeah, I was like, crash.
Yeah, I know. For both, so I did 2 races on my stream, Beastly, just like showing it off, and I just like, I didn't crash in the first race.
Everyone was like, crash.
Yeah, they all wanted to see what happens when you crash, and then I forgot to do it in the second race because I just got so into winning, you know. But like, so I like this game, and I'm hoping that they patch it because I'm thinking that what this is just they took Drive Club, and then they said, okay, just like move that over to the VR. But they didn't actually take into account like what they had to do graphically to do it. So they just basically like pulled down on the resolution really low. So I think that's what I'm seeing is I'm just seeing like a really low resolution. You know, like maybe like 480 or even lower.
Oh wow, really?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not great. So I'm hoping that they can do something with this game to make it a little better. Other than that, maybe Gran Turismo will be better, you know?
Possibly PlayStation Pro upgrade. Possibly.
That could be. Maybe a resolution boost with PlayStation Pro. That's right around the corner.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I wouldn't think it would be a huge boost, but it probably would be a little noticeable.
A little resolution boost in that game would go a long way, just because, like, literally, I want to be able to see if it's a left or a right.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
that is a big deal in a racing game. You know, if you don't have the track memorized. I also played Rush of Blood. This is Until Dawn. Rush of Blood. This is basically an on-rail shooter, right? You're in like a carnival ride, like a kind of a on-rails roller coaster. Yeah, scary clown kind of thing. Scares the shit out of me, man. Like,
it sure does.
Literally, like, I popped it in. Actually, it's on the demo disc, and I did the demo because some of these games I ordered off of Amazon because it's like $10 cheaper to order them off of Amazon than to buy them in the store or on the PlayStation Store. Mm-hmm. And there's like the opening scene is you sit down in the roller coaster, and the first room you go into, there's like this laughing girl who's like appearing all over the place. And you're like, okay, where is she? And then all of a sudden she's like, fucking right here! And I literally yelled out, oh, fuck no!
I remember that.
And I didn't play that game anymore until the stream. And then I'd already seen that for the stream, so it wasn't as scary. But yeah, I did play
Resident Evil. I didn't hear about that.
Okay, so I played the Resident Evil demo. It's a really short demo. I think it lasts probably 5 minutes. And basically, it consists of you being tied to a chair. You can't move. You have no interactions with the world at all. Your hands are kind of tied together with some zip ties. You wake up, and there's a dude passed out on the floor in front of you. That dude comes to, and he's panicked, and he wants to try and get you out of your bonds. He tries to come over with a knife to cut you out, but he just came to, and he's all kind of sloppy, and he's like flailing around in your face with this knife, and you're just like, dude, you know. And then all of a sudden this girl pops out of nowhere, you know, a creepy ring girl pops out of nowhere, kills him, and then disappears. And then you start hearing her behind you. One of the things the headset does that's really cool is you plug your headset into like a little control box that's on the cable that goes to the PlayStation controller. And it does a very good job of doing 3D positional audio. So as you move your head, it real time tracks like where these things are coming from. So this girl being behind you is very scary. You can't ever see her no matter how much you look for her. And then all of a sudden she pops down like she's hanging from the ceiling and scares the shit out of you. And that's basically where the thing ends. I think
maybe
she
you,
stabs
Briar,
you.
but I ain't no pussy, okay?
Dude,
doesn't scare me.
I've talked about scary games on this show in the past. I suck at scary games. I'm very affected by
I'm
them.
just bugging you.
And I gotta say, in VR, they're like twice as
10
scary
times
because
worse.
you feel a
It's
sense of mortal
so
danger.
Horrifying in VR. Oh my god.
It is.
Now, of course, now I got to ask you a few questions. It sounds like you had a lot of fun, and unfortunately, you found out some games are just incompatible with the Rabbit.
Yeah.
But before this thing came out, there was a lot of talk about it being, kind of underpowered, not as good as its competitors. What do you think about it now? A $400 VR headset entry point, and what you've played. Do you think it's worth it? What would you tell a PlayStation gamer who hasn't bought this thing, who may have the disposable income to go ahead and buy it, but he's maybe on the fence? Would you tell someone to wait because of the honeymoon period? Do you think that it's going to be a valuable thing to have in the future? Or would you just hold off?
So right now, BC, I'm hoping that it's a viable thing in the future. I'm scouring the PlayStation Store looking for the next game, even though I haven't finished the games I'm on. I've played other games like Thumper that is very much a playable like TV game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But putting on the VR helmet, playing the same game feels like a completely different experience. It feels actually more fun. It's more immersive. I like playing that game with the helmet on. Not really that interested in playing it with the helmet off. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like to me, this is the beginning. If you're a smart person, if you wait a year, because like probably the hardware price will go down. The games will have gotten better at not making you vomit. I think these things as we go on, these games are going to get better. The hardware is going to get better. The hardware is going to get cheaper. I will say I regret nothing. Like I'm really having a blast with it.
Nothing.
Every game I play, I'm just like I'm enthralled with. Even the games that aren't really even games. There's that. You guys seen that Shark Attack demo, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That is fucking amazing. Like it's just you don't do anything except for just like look around. You just sit there and look around, and it's really amazing. On-rail shooters like Rush of Blood, even though it's a scary game, I have a blast playing it because you got both of your move controllers, and each one is a gun. And it's just so fun to be able to just look and aim down your sight and shoot a motherfucker. Like it's fun, man.
Now, let me ask you a question. Have you tried the theater mode for PlayStation VR?
Yeah, fuck that. That's useless. You don't want any part of that. You're better off just watching the TV.
I've heard it's not good. Yeah.
No, basically what you're looking at is you have like 3 different settings for how big that theater can be. What Beasley's talking about here is that if you want to watch a movie on your PlayStation or play a game that's not VR compatible, you can do it in your VR headset. But what you're basically looking at is a static screen out in the distance. And you can look around and that screen stays there, right? It's like almost being at a movie theater. Mm-hmm. And you got different settings at how big that screen can be. At the biggest, it's like being in an IMAX theater. I tried playing Destiny actually on the biggest setting, and it was like when I aimed down sights, like all I could pay attention to was what was in my sights. Like that's how big it was. Like that took up all of like kind of that cone of vision that I could center on. Whereas on a TV, if something moves in the top left corner, I could understand that and see it. In this, I couldn't really see anything outside of those sights. Like that's how big it feels.
As far as the resolution goes, did it take a hit in theater mode, like playing Destiny? Did it look like tradition? It did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because basically, you're not playing at 1080p. You're playing at like half a 1080p twice on each side.
And what about watching movies? Does it actually look like you're in a theater? Like when you're seeing a film that big? Have you tried it?
Yeah, it does kind of look like you're in a theater. It's kind of cool because it does look like a big ass IMAX screen. But it is that lower resolution, so you're not getting like that high fidelity look to it. Like, I think probably like some people will find uses for that, but for me, I'd rather just watch a TV.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a bachelor, you live in your little studio apartment, you're by yourself, and you got a bag of popcorn and no woman. Yeah, put that shit on and watch a movie. But
Yeah, but you can't
if you're
find,
there
you can
with
find your popcorn. You're gonna have popcorn all over.
fuck, you're
my
right.
place.
You need VR popcorn.
You need VR popcorn. You know where
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, it's so weird, man. Like in games where your hands are there, like to be able to like see your hand like track real time is so cool. And like to be able to pick up a gun. There's a lot of games that you pick up a gun, right? And then you pick up like the clip for it and like slide it into the bottom of the gun.
Oh,
and that's how you reload. It's so cool. It's so cool. I love it. I'm in the honeymoon period. Yeah.
Did you ever try the Batman?
Yeah, I didn't really dig it. Didn't dig it.
Okay, I'm hearing mixed reviews on that. Some people love it, some people hate it.
It's like
That's what I'm hearing too.
It's a game.
And some people don't.
It's a game where you basically just stand still. If you want to move,
things happen around you.
Yeah, if you want to move, you pull out your like bat zipline thing, and you point it at
teleport.
where you want to go, and you teleport to that point, and then you can look around and you gotta try and solve. I didn't love it. It wasn't for me. I'm not like a huge comic book fan either. If you got a really piece of great entertaining content, I'll watch it, and if it happens to be Batman, I'll watch it. But I'm not like a Batman fan, and this didn't do anything for me. I didn't even get through the thing yet. I paid $20 for it, and it feels like a demo. Like it really does. I wouldn't pay $20 for that. So it's early. Right. It's the early days of VR. I'm really impressed by it. I can't wait to see what they do in the future. I can't wait till the PlayStation Pro comes out so we can see like better graphics on these games too.
That's really soon too. Less than a month. Very soon.
I told you guys during the summers, like that's what I was doing all summers. I'm saving money up for a VR headset and a PlayStation Pro, and like now these things are happening. That payoff is coming. I'm really excited about it, and then my family can start eating again in maybe December. Maybe.
Yeah, right.
Smart decisions up until family eats in December. That's where I draw the line on that. Not a good idea.
What?
You
gotta have priorities.
Is over your family? I'm curious. You know they can survive without food. Okay, let's move on.
I'm teaching them to fend for themselves. What do you get
it's
everything?
It's like caveman days. It's prehistoric times. That's what you're doing. You're training them for prehistoric times. And the apocalypse comes.
You give a man a fish. You feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish, or you tell him to go fuck off, go find some fish. That man eats forever, or he dies. Who knows?
I love the Briar Rabbit philosophy. That needs to be quoted and put in the book somewhere. Shit.
Briar is teaching people how to fend for themselves. Damn it.
Right.
Or die. So we got a little bit of news for today's show. Robbie, you want to get us started? I know that the first little story we have here is pretty exciting for you because you're tweeting like a man possessed today.
Yeah. So if no one has heard this, get ready to soil your pants because this is amazing. So, earlier today, Rockstar Games began teasing an unannounced Red Dead game using a red and black Rockstar logo across their social media that looks very similar to Red Dead Redemption. Additional details have revealed the game may be called Red Dead Renegade and may be released fall 2017. Holy shit. It's
exciting.
Happening. Yes.
Exciting.
Oh my god, man.
We knew this was going to happen when they re-released Red Dead, right?
Yeah, it was
Redemption, right? Yeah. Okay, they're gonna do this soon. That's great. I can't wait, man.
Oh man,
now it's on PS4 too, not just Xbox One. So
I still like my name better. I still like Refinance better. You won the West. Now you got to pay for it. Like, come on, a banking simulator set in the Old West. Like that would be fun.
Oh,
like you sit down in your Old West border town shanty. You get your wife sitting at the table with you. You got to go over your bills. You got to figure out how you're going to pay for the seeds for next year, right?
Tumbleweed just rolls into the living room.
Red Dead Refinance.
Jeez, bro, they would never go for that. But yeah, I mean, Red Dead Redemption is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah,
And I mean, I love that game to death. And even just playing it a couple months ago in backwards compatibility, it holds up. I can't even imagine how good, like, a Red Dead 3, Red Dead. I already forgot the name again. It's so hard to remember. Renegade, that's what it is. Yeah.
It starts with an R.
Oh, either way, that announcement, whether it's coming in a week from now, whether it's going to be like tomorrow, whenever it is, I just am so excited for this. Cannot wait. Easily one of my most anticipated.
Coming to a console near you in 2019.
We'll see.
Don't do that.
I'm excited. It's not like Team Eco is making the game, so we probably have a chance to see it next year.
I think
it's
we're
true.
good on this one. It won't be delayed too much.
Okay, a listing for the upcoming book, The Art of Mass Effect, may have revealed the release date of Mass Effect Andromeda.
Really?
The listing says Dark Horse will release the Art of Mass Effect book. Andromeda will release simultaneously on March 21st, 2017.
Oh, that's big news.
Ooh.
Man, I'd love to see what
Effect.
Mass Effect could do on these next gen or these current gen consoles, man.
We got a glimpse, man. They showed it on PS4 Pro. It looked really, really good.
Yeah.
It was kind of boring though, the demo they showed.
It was very boring, and the voice acting and the lines were extremely fucking cheesy.
It looked good though.
Oh,
Yeah, it looked great.
Yes,
It's like a really sexy bimbo with a third grade education. It looked great, but just not much brains there. Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
You gotta keep up, Bobby. You gotta keep up. So
I don't want to keep up. I'm really scared right now.
I'm excited about Mass Effect. Mass Effect is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. Even though they ended on a really sour note. I'm super excited to see what they come up with next for this trilogy. It's a whole new start. Hopefully they introduce some new planets. Some what's the game that just basically failed out the ass? No Man's Sky. If they could introduce some of that space travel somehow, of course they'll never do that. That game, oh god, it's over for them.
That's the thing though. As much as people hate No Man's Sky, like everyone says, imagine if Mass Effect or like any
imagine if a good game could do this.
Yeah, imagine a good game based around this technology. I mean, Robbie, it's not like a horrible game can't have some good aspects to it, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
There's probably some fucking terrible games that have great control schemes. You can take that control scheme and put it into a good game, and it really matters. So, I mean, that's basically what we're saying here.
God damn!
I can't wait to see what they do.
Like,
I want to
Mass
see more
Effect
about this
got
game.
that No Man's Sky tech, and you could just
work from planet to planet. That would be amazing. Absolutely.
I mean, imagine just one solar system with like 25 planets, and they just had that, and you can actually go in real time to these planets and investigate and do all this stuff. It'd be insane.
One of the things I've been playing a lot of Eve Valkyrie, and one of the things I was loving about it is that, like, in No Man's Sky, I was flying around and like you basically couldn't do shit. You could get in space battles, but it was really shitty. In this game, it's like you're having so much fun in these space battles, and you can change your loadout, and you get all sorts of different weapons and different ships, and like, you know, it feels dynamic, and there's all sorts of shit in your way, so you got to fly through it and around it, and like, man, imagine if No Man's Sky did this. It'd be really fun.
Now, real quick, Brian, I had no idea that Eve Valkyrie had multiplayer. It actually does.
Yeah. Oh, and it's super fun. It is really fun. I think it's 8 on 8. Every match I get into is 8 on 8.
I'm so excited for that game.
You get in there, man, and you're dogfighting. You are dogfighting. It's so fun. And because there's so much shit in your way, like, it's super fun to, like, you know, you race around like an asteroid, and then you, like, stop your ship, you turn around, and you wait for that motherfucker to come around, and you blast him with a bunch of missiles. Like, it's super fun.
Oh, man, I can't wait. That's super exciting. Wow. All right, so let me see. The next little bit of news we got, PlayStation VR is estimated to sell more than 2.5 million units by the end of 2016. Wow. According to market research company Superdata. 2.5 million? You think it's reasonable? You think it's possible, Brian? I mean, you're an early adopter. You think there are 2.5 million more people like you who will come out of the woodworks before the end of the year?
I think they'll
This
just
year?
undercut that. I don't think they'll make it. They'll be close.
Well, what are we looking at?
I went to GameStop, and like I was kind of surprised that there was nobody outside, like, in line or anything. You know, I went to the midnight launch, and I did call around.
Really?
Oh, I didn't tell you guys that I got a broken one. The one I bought was actually broken. The right eye cup. You know, like the viewer, just like kind of blinking in and out. Like it was really weird. So I actually returned it the next day and was able to get another one. But yeah, it was kind of weird. But it was weird that it didn't sell out right away, like everywhere. Some places it did, some places it didn't. Depends on your availability, or depends on
a lot of people refunded their pre-orders too.
I'm definitely surprised to hear that, though. Wow,
but 2 million. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even like those numbers are like so incomprehensible to me that how many PlayStations are out there? Like 35 million. 40 million?
45
plus million, at least 45, yeah, something like that.
I hope they sell 2 million because that would make software like reasonable to develop. That's what we need to get enough of these headsets out there that software developers are like, okay, there's enough people out there that want this software that it makes sense to develop like a AAA title in VR. Yeah, I hope so, but I don't know.
The next little bit of news about PSVR is actually pretty shocking to me. PSVR is already selling at a profit for Sony, according to SIE President Sean Layden.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I guess like the original PS4, this thing is just like even if it's a small profit, I guess they're making a profit on it. So they sold the hardware for less or for more than it cost to make it, which I think it's good. That's good to hear.
Well, I mean, Sony, man, when it comes to PlayStation, that's the one thing that Sony does right, and I'm really not surprised that they have, developed these strategies around their hardware that implement, I guess really exciting hardware and make people come out and buy it. And the fact that they're able to make profit off the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR, which is something I really didn't see. I didn't think that was possible, especially right out the gate. Sony's strategy around PlayStation is really amazing. But their strategy around PlayStation didn't really matter for the last 3 months when it comes to competition because Xbox One was the best-selling console for the month of September.
It presents a better value. It really does.
Yeah, for the third month in a row.
Yeah.
Third month in a row.
I mean, if you were...
and this is something...
I don't know, obviously, if you would answer the same way, but if I was out there looking to buy, like, my first
there's no question.
gen... Like,
no question.
The Slim,
there's no question.
Xbox One Slim is a much better value than a PlayStation or PlayStation.
Absolutely.
Slim.
Yeah, I mean, I've made videos about this. There's no way. I mean, and you guys know I love my PlayStation, right? But right now, if I was to come to this, this arms race of PlayStation versus Xbox right now, with what's available now, there's no question.
You gotta make a rational decision, right? Like,
Come on.
You can make a rational decision, like comparing apples to apples. The Xbox One Slim is clearly the way to go. Now, when the Pro comes out next month, maybe it's a different story because then you're talking about different price points and stuff like that.
Yeah. Is $100 worth it to you? Yeah. But if you're looking at the PlayStation Slim versus the Xbox One S, there really isn't any reasonable argument to buy a PlayStation over an Xbox One. It just really isn't to me. 100%. The Xbox One has improved GPU. It runs games faster than the original vanilla Xbox One.
4K
has an
Blu-ray.
HD Blu-ray. It has 4K streaming. Get the hell out of here. I mean, there's really no competition there.
Yeah, easy way.
Really, it's like friends list and where's your friends list and who's got the exclusives you really want to play. Other than that, man, it's just seems like a really nice piece of hardware.
I think the other thing too is that because since the Slim just came out and then Pro has immediately come out, I think the other thing is that PS4 probably at this moment isn't selling that well because people know the Pro is right around the corner. I think that's
who wants
also
to buy a PlayStation right now when the
right
Pro
now is the worst time.
Yeah, you don't want to buy that.
Yeah, my older brother. That's my older brother. He's been holding off. He's been holding off for the last year. Because of PlayStation VR. And so, PlayStation 4K is what he calls it. And so, I'm sure there's a lot more people out there who are waiting in the wings for November. What is it, November 10th?
Yes.
Yeah, so it'll be exciting times. And our last little bit of news, only one guy here actually has real input on this particular story, but a number of issues have been reported for PSVR owners, including an issue where the view from the headset shifts to the left over time during gameplay sessions. So you're just playing the game and all of a sudden
it's like slowly over time.
I didn't know that. Okay, so that does happen to me.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, I didn't this is the first I've heard that. But yeah, I've noticed that most games you just hold the start button or the options button, and it recenters your view. Which is, fairly common because, I'm on a rolling chair and sometimes I'm like, oh shit, I'm over here now. So I recenter my view all the time, but a lot of times I'll find my shit's way over there. I'm like, what the fuck's it doing up there? Hopefully that's a software issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, it's minor stuff. Like, there's a lot of fixes, I believe, for all this, so it's not like a huge deal breaker. But yeah, that would be kind of annoying.
I have
if you
noticed
like.
it though. Yeah, it's funny.
Well, there you go.
Well, that's a little bit more troubling though, because I'm sure everybody's not. Well, then again, there's only a handful of games.
Yeah,
So
it's also not a big issue. It's like you literally just hold your options button and it's like it centers.
So it's an easy fix. Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean, and it's like to me it happens. I thought it was like how if you turned on like an old console and you happen to have like one stick pushed when you turned it on. Like that stick was forever pushed to that side until you reset your console. I thought it might be something like that, where in between cutscenes or something, it would kind of try and recenter you, and if you happen to be looking over there, then that's what was going on. But I don't know what it is. Weird.
One funny little article. I mean, not article. I've actually heard someone on YouTube say this. They were playing Drive Club VR, and it kept shifting to the left. And
I've never had it happen like in game.
Yeah, well, this is the person who was playing Drive Club VR, and they said they had to look over their shoulder almost to their back in order to go straight. I was like,
I've heard that it gets really bad for some people.
I haven't seen that. That would make you sick. Yeah. Like if you think you're going forward, but you're gonna be like, no.
Yeah, so it's man. Look, let me just say this. Hopefully, within the next couple of days, I'll have mine. I've heard a lot of people on YouTube and different media talking about how awesome PlayStation VR is. Listening to my good friend Briar Rabbit talk about it, it's probably got me more excited. So I can't wait to grab mine. Robbie. I'm sorry. You're way too young to be Briar. My question for you is:
close.
Do you see yourself grabbing this possibly in the near future, or are you going to hold off and wait for a year or so?
I'm thinking, definitely Briar has sold me on this, and even before that I was thinking, this is going to be like the true VR experience. I feel like this is, as long as, the thing I was most concerned about is that it wouldn't run very well, right? Like the frame rate wouldn't be good, maybe the resolution.
That's what I've heard, yeah.
But I've heard everything is good so far, so that's making me more and more like, okay, maybe I will pick this up soon. Like, it sounds like it's worth it, and that's awesome.
I was scared there would be any software that I wanted to play. And there is plenty of software that I want to play. Like Eve Valkyrie, for me right now, it's like the game that I want to be playing all the time. It's like the game that I just want to keep jumping into.
Awesome. Yeah, that looks like so much fun.
So, Briar, playing Eve, you got the full game of Eve Valkyrie.
Yeah, there's a demo, though. There's a demo on a disc, too.
But going through it and playing it and experiencing the story and all that unfolds 100% around you? Like when it's telling you what's going on with the actual, why you're playing this game, what's going on in space, when you're talking to different characters or listen to the story progress, it's all happening in VR as well?
So I've played like the intro mission and then I just jump into multiplayer. And I've played probably, 5 hours or 6 hours of multiplayer. I've only played like the first mission in single player. In single player, it seems like it's going to be one of those things where you're sitting in your ship and you got somebody talking to you.
Okay, because I was wondering, I mean, as VR progresses, they're going to try to implement more and more story-driven games. And in my mind, I'm trying to figure out how it's going to be done. They've got so many amazing ways they can do it. Maybe you could be sitting back in a room in a corner someplace watching the story unfold, or it's just so many different amazing options.
The London Heist kills it with that, because literally having somebody just there talking to you.
You said you were really intimidated too. Dude, I've never even seen this before.
This guy, there's an achievement, Beastly. The guy takes a swing at you at one point. There's an achievement if you don't flinch.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's how realistic it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was luckily hamming it up for the camera, so I'm like getting it back into his face, and I didn't flinch. So I got the achievement.
Tough guy Briar over here.
But I can guarantee you, if I was sitting in a dark room all by myself, I'd be like, motherfucker!
Oh, yeah, move out of the way.
Threw their hands up in the air too. That's real.
That reminds me too. There's some VR experiences even on Gear VR from my phone where it's like there'll be bats flying at you or something, and it's like whoa, like you just kind of flinch. It feels so real.
Dude, that Shark Attack demo is scary as shit, man.
That Kate fell out of the chair. Yeah. That shit will have you all fucked up. She was really scared, turning around and jumping and the shark trying to get you. But the thing that really amazes me, I'm really pleased to hear, is that it runs well on the vanilla PS4. That way everybody has access to it.
Yeah.
And they've somehow, even the early developers have nailed this immersion, because London Heist, The way you described it, I felt like I was there with you just by the way that you
It's
described
the
the way you
best
felt.
part. It's the best thing on the VR right now. It's so fun, and like the shootouts are fun. The interactions with the other characters are fun. There's a part where this guy's just kind of putting shit down that you're gonna need for your mission on the table in front of you, and it looks like there's a cigar and there's a lighter. You can light the cigar up. He wants to light a cigar, so you can reach over and light his cigar for him.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a phone that you can pick up. You can look at the phone, and then you can put it up to your ear to like listen to the phone call. Like, it's cool shit, man. It's super cool. Hopefully they can take advantage of it.
What, you put
Hopefully
the
there's
phone
enough
to your ear?
people. Yeah.
You put it up to your ear, you could actually then your microphone, your earbuds kick in, and you can hear the phone.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick. Man.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's really
Holy
cool. I
shit.
wanted to like start texting somebody, but I mean, obviously you can't do that. But it was
That's
cool.
awesome.
It's
Can't
really
wait,
fun.
man. All right. Well, I'll definitely be getting E Valkyrie because of this multiplayer. I got to experience that with the rabbit. But man,
Yeah, Thumper too. Thumper is really good. Rez is really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7 is really good.
Fuck that game.
I just had to hear you say it again, bro.
Fuck that shit. All right. I think that's going to wrap it up. Anything else we want to talk about? Oh, Beastly, you got something you want to talk about? You got a website you want to talk about?
TheBeastlyGamer.com. It's actually under production right now. It's being done by an amazingly talented young lady that I happen to be married to, who's in school for web design, and she's really hooking it up. This website will have all of our details, everything about the Beastly Thought Show, links to you guys, to all your videos. It'll have a forum section for people to ask us questions and find out as much as they can about us, because, of course, the world wants to know about the Beastly Thoughts live crew. So look for that website. Probably, I'm sure by next week, it'll be 100% up. She just started working on it over the weekend, and it looks like it's already almost done. So look forward to that. Definitely.
Awesome.
BeastlyGamer.com.
Here we go. Probably anything else you want to talk about?
I'm just really hyped for Red Dead. Oh,
Red Dead? Red Dead.
Yes, man.
Red Dead.
I mean, whether it's a sequel or it's a prequel, we've heard a lot of rumors about whether it might be a prequel with John Marston's story. I love that story, so actually I would be into seeing that, but God, I hope it gets announced soon.
Can I ask? Wait. Can I ask you a question? No joke, Robbie.
Yep.
When's the last time you had maple syrup?
This morning.
I knew it.
I had pancakes this morning, yeah, so.
That's like a trick question. That's just mean to ask a Canadian. It's a Sunday morning. Of course, you had pancakes.
It was today, yeah.
It's all good, Robbie. You know, stereotypes aren't true. I had a piece of chicken right before we started the show.
When's the last time Fuck. When's the last time you had maple syrup, Beastly?
It's probably been 4 months.
What?
The last time you
haven't had
syrup,
pancakes
Briar
or waffles in 4 months?
Seriously?
Let me think. Oh no! I had waffles. It's probably been about a month.
You had chicken and waffles today, right? Yeah, with your chicken. Right.
It was just chicken with Tabasco sauce and some collard greens. Get your shit right. I'm black, brother. Collard greens. I picked them myself, threw them and cooked them right on the spot.
That sounds great, though. That does sound good.
It is.
Briar, when was the last time you had maple syrup?
Oh,
I had it. I think it was last weekend. My wife made pancakes. It was either last weekend or the weekend before that.
Close enough to be called a Canadian. There you go.
Yeah, well, he's further up north.
That's right.
I'm in the south.
I am in maple syrup country. We have people tapping maple trees right here in my backyard. Motherfuckers out there in the middle of winter, clack clack clack, hanging a bucket from a tree.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we had a guy who made maple syrup. Like, he boiled it. You know, he went and collected all the buckets of the sap, and he poured it into this big vat, and then he had the heater under the vat to boil it, and we used to go there and we used to eat his maple syrup.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was fucking maple syrup.
So
I mean, is it good? Yeah, he used to make the candy too, the maple syrup
Maple
candy.
syrup is great. Yeah, I can. Yeah,
dude,
come on.
Fucking, how many Canadians are there? Like 700 Canadians can't be wrong.
Yeah, you're damn right.
Is that an approximate number or an exact number?
That's a guesstimate.
700. You got all that fucking land.
Close enough.
I wanted to thank Muju for subscribing. Thank you so much, man. 4 months in a row. Wilson, thank you so much. Your notification already left the screen, but I think it's 4 months in a row. And Robbie, thank you for subscribing too, man.
You're welcome, buddy. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. We will be back next week. Hopefully I'm out of the honeymoon phase with PSVR. I'll be able to talk a little more critically about it.
Drink some maple syrup.
Yeah, have some maple syrup, man. What's wrong with you?
Be a little Canadian for a week, okay?
Yeah.
Chicken and waffles?
Put a little Canadian in you.
Put
Or a
syrup
big
on
one.
the chicken and waffles, Beastly. That's it.
Get in waffles.
That should be your pickup line, Robbie. Put a little bit of Canadian in you.
Right.
That's actually so good. Put a little Canadian in
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
you. Bye, everybody. See ya. Put a fucking Canadian in you.